Hello YouTube, welcome to Review and Shop. Today we will watch Best Gaming Keyboard in 2019. Gaming keyboards has recently started to attract a lot of attention. Professional and amateur game players began to look for the best to better adapt to game. We have reviewed the best 5 gaming keyboards of you in the market for you. Please subscribe to my channel and enjoy the video. Number 5, Kingston HyperX Alloy FPS. Kingston started out as a hardware manufacturer. As time went on, they created the HyperX brand, which focused on gaming products, including not only peripherals but also internal PC components such as RAM modules and SSD storage. One of the more popular HyperX peripherals is the HyperX Alloy FPS, a highly compact keyboard that comes in 2 variants and with several types of switches, the Cherry MX Blue, Brown, and Red. The main body of the keyboard is quite minimal, as seen in the image above, making the keys appear somewhat taller than they actually are. Red LED backlighting. The keyboard includes a simple but effective red backlight. While RGB enthusiasts might find this discouraging, red works rather well here for 2 reasons. The color red is aggressive and befits a gaming product, but red light's low wavelength also makes it the least distracting in low light conditions, all the while efficiently illuminating the keys. Compact steel frame. Unlike the bulky plastic exteriors that are commonly seen in gaming keyboards, this one's main body is almost non-existent. The front consists entirely of steel, while the back is made of high-quality plastic. Portability. Apart from its overall compact build, there are 2 more factors that contribute to this keyboard's portability. Firstly, power cable is detachable, and secondly, the keyboard comes with a padded carry case that ensures safe and hassle-free transportation. Alloy FPS Pro. We have already mentioned that the Alloy FPS comes in 2 variants. The first is the standard one, which is shown above, but there is also the Alloy FPS Pro, which gets rid of the number pad to contribute to the overall compactness and portability. It doesn't actually add any additional features, but it is obviously cheaper since it has fewer switches. Number 4, Logitech G910 Orion Spark. Of course, there is no way to talk about computer peripherals without mentioning Logitech. This is another company renowned mainly for the high quality of their products, something that applies to the keyboard we will be looking at here, the G910 Orion Spark. This particular keyboard stands in stark contrast to the minimalistic Alloy FPS, with its massive frame, the angular keycap design, RGB lighting, and the overall amount of detail that's packed into it. It also differs in that it doesn't use Cherry MX, but Logitech's own proprietary Romer G switches. RGB backlighting. As is to be expected in this price range, the keyboard has fully customizable RGB lighting that is easily manageable with the accompanying software. ARX control. A rather unique trait of the G910 is the ARX control dock located at the top of the keyboard. With the use of the official ARX app for either iOS or Android, you can monitor your hardware performance data, manage peripherals, and it even has multimedia controls, all of that on your smartphone or tablet screen. Macro keys. Located on the left side of the keyboard are 9 programmable macro keys. Once again, these are great for issuing complex instructions with a single keystroke, be it inside or outside of a game. Romer G switches. A few years back, Logitech introduced their own type of mechanical switch. These are much newer than Cherry MX switches, and not only are they more responsive because of their shorter travel distance, but they are also more durable. If you are a fan of detail-heavy and aggressive design, then the G910 Orion Spark is the keyboard of your dreams. It is not only good-looking but also highly functional. The ARC stock, the dedicated macro keys, and the highly reliable Romer G switches all contribute to what this product has to offer. Of course, some might still prefer Cherry MX switches due to them being easier to acquire and replace. And needless to say, the evidently gaming-oriented design will not be appealing for everyone. And next, number 3, Logitech G810 Orion Spectrum. And for those who prefer a more minimal design, Logitech has another offering, the G810. It is evidently more compact and sports a sleeker and far less aggressive exterior than the G910, all the while keeping the same Romer G switches and RGB lighting. RGB backlighting. As its pricier cousin, the G810 uses the same Logitech RGB technology, allowing for first-class backlighting and excellent customizability via the accompanying software. Romer G switches. Naturally, Logitech's proprietary switch is seen here as well, with the same pros and cons as before. Neutral design. As mentioned in the introduction, this keyboard's design is quite minimal, especially when compared to the G910. This makes it great for those who like having a more compact, low-profile keyboard adorning their desk. All in all, the G810 occupies a comfortable spot on the price spectrum, sitting roughly halfway between the HyperX Alloy FPS and its bigger, badder cousin, the G910. It borrows the best from both worlds, the compactness and the subtler design of the alloy FPS, plus the RGB lighting of the G910. Other than that, not much differentiates it from the aforementioned two keyboards. Number 2, Corsair K70. Following up, we have another Corsair keyboard, one from the same series as the K55, the K70. These two are, however, on the opposite sides of the spectrum, with the K70 being a top-of-the-line model. It has a relatively small footprint, when the wrist rest is out of the equation, and a complementary sleek and minimal design, both of which make it similar to the HyperX Alloy FPS keyboard. However, it differs in that it has RGB backlighting, as well as in the fact that it is available with several more types of Cherry MX switches. RGB backlight, the K70 comes with high-quality per-key RGB backlighting. As is to be expected, it is customized via Corsair's own software utility that can be downloaded for free from their site. Variety of Cherry MX switches, in addition to the standard blue, red, and brown switches. Corsair also ships this keyboard with two more versions, the Cherry MX Silent and the Cherry MX Speed switches. The former is a variant of the red, as it is linear and produces virtually no noise, whereas the latter is a silvery white switch that is also linear but has an actuation distance nearly half that of any standard Cherry MX switch. Premium build quality. The K70's aluminum body makes it sturdy and light, all the while giving it a premium overall feel. Detachable wrist rest. Another more or less standard feature in this price range. The detachable wrist rest is there to make both gaming and typing more comfortable. Needless to say, the K70 is built to impress, and that is just what it does. It looks great, feels great, and performs even better, especially if you go with the Cherry MX Speed variant. It has virtually no flaws, apart from the fact that some might find a lack of dedicated macro keys lacking. Still, that is not a major issue since each key is fully programmable. And finally, number 1, Razer Black Widow Chroma V2. And last but definitely not least, we have yet another keyboard from Razer, the Black Widow Chroma V2. It is a new and updated version of the original Black Widow Chroma, although it hardly warrants an upgrade if you already own the original. However, if you're looking to replace another, cheaper keyboard, then the V2 is a much better choice. It tweaks the aesthetic to make for a more professional look, particularly evident from the font, incorporates a new type of Razer switch, and comes with a magnetized wrist rest just like the one seen with the Ornata Chroma. Chroma RGB backlighting. As previously described, this is some of the best RGB backlighting that you can get in a keyboard, with superb customizability and a plethora of effects to choose from. 3 types of Razer switches. Much like Logitech, Razer implements their own proprietary switches instead of the more widespread Cherry MX ones. These include green, orange, and yellow switches. They differ mainly in that they are more durable, although the newest yellow switch has a much shorter actuation distance. 5 macro keys. Located to the left are 5 programmable macro keys. As before, these allow you to carry out complex commands with a single keystroke, a feature that will undoubtedly come in handy for a lot of people. Detachable wrist rest. As described in the introduction, the Black Widow V2 has the same highly comfortable wrist rest as the one that accompanies the more affordable Ornata Chroma. There is no denying that this is a top-quality keyboard with a sturdy build and excellent, responsive switches. It represents the perfect synthesis of aesthetics and functionality, making it a keyboard that any gamer would appreciate. But the main drawback of the Black Widow Chroma V2 is its price, something that you probably saw coming from a mile away. Of course, it is still not much more expensive than other high-end keyboards, and if you buy it, you will find very little to complain about.